If you want to prove that you have the skills to be valuable, but you have zero tech sales experience, then bring this answer to your next interview. My friend Joseph just used this and he beat candidates with experience. And it's the exact same answer that I used to break in without going to college or having any experience. Now, after hearing this answer, you might feel discouraged, like, I don't have that sort of value in my experiences, but neither did the guy that I tailored this for. So if you feel like you don't have any valuable experience, wait until I give you this answer and I'll show you exactly how to make it valuable like I did for this guy. I have a background in customer facing roles where I have consistently exceeded expectations. At Home Depot, I averaged 14 credit card sales a month, which was 1,400% past quota. I later became a physician substitute where I partnered with leadership and we cut patient intake times by 75% at the busiest intake center in the state, which is a really big accomplishment. I'm currently a clinic manager, and in this role, I've reduced patient visit times by 25%, directly supporting leadership's goals of processing more patients per hour, which ultimately leads in more revenue. Across all these roles, I built a reputation for being ambitious, spotting inefficiencies, and creating memorable client experiences that drive results. So looking forward, I'm actually looking to plan my route to the company where my driver's rewarded. I want to learn from experienced sales reps, and I want to share what works with the team. And from your description, I've seen you're looking for someone who's self-disciplined, self-motivated, highly coachable, and cooperative. And that's part of the reason I applied, because I'm exactly that. First thing you might notice, there were metrics in there everywhere. If you feel like you don't have metrics or you just can't think of any from your last role, or maybe there weren't any, don't worry, this guy didn't either. I'll show you how. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably in the shoes that I was in, looking up interview answers because you either bombed an interview before and you didn't know the way to answer it, and there's a lot of other questions they're gonna ask you where you have to have the perfect answer. I have all the perfect answers in the community in the link below. It's a resource that I looked for when I was on my job hunt. I just couldn't find. It's all the questions and answers, how to stand out, how to prepare, everything you need to break into tech. Got like 1,000 people in there. Completely free resource. I'll see you in there. Let's get back to the video. The first experience that you mentioned in this answer should be the most relevant, not recent. If you don't have anything directly sales related, pick the role where you had your biggest achievement or where you did the best. As you heard in that answer, we mentioned the experience and then an achievement. Experience, achievement, and then current role, experience, achievement. When thinking about achievements, always try to tie it to the company making more money. Because in sales, when you make the company more money, you make more money. This is all building up to show that you go above and beyond even when you're not paid for it. So for example, if you worked at a warehouse, and even if they didn't tell you you have to produce 100 units an hour, ask yourself, how many units did the average person produce? The numbers don't have to be accurate here, but the experiences do, so bear with me. Let's say you produced 100 units an hour. Most people did 100. You did 125 because you were faster, you worked harder, you just were a better employee. All you do to do the math here is very simple. Take the number that you did, divide it by the quota or the average or the expectation. You get a number. Multiply that number by 100. That's what percent you were to quota or to your expectations. Don't just stop there. If you can tie this number to revenue, it's really gonna show your business acumen. So ask yourself, how much did each unit sell for? If I did 25 extra units each day and each unit sells for $100, multiply 25 by 100. Every year on average, there's 260 working days. Multiply 2,500 by 260. That's $650,000 a year. Mention that. I made the company $650,000 in revenue each year because I was able to produce 125% more units than each person I worked with. They will ask you, how'd you do that? And if that's not true, if you weren't a better worker, if you weren't faster, you're gonna be in trouble. So make sure the achievements that you bring up, if you're gonna bring a number to it, you can actually explain how you were better than other people, what you did differently. Bring details. So I'm editing this video and realize not everybody has an experience that can tie to revenue. If you're an admin or an administrative assistant or something along those lines, you can mention how you made processes shorter. That's very important when you're on the role as well, as being very effective with your time, being very efficient. You can mention high customer service ratings because you have to be good with customers. The point that I'm trying to make here is just make sure that you're putting a number on it, and that it's a measurable metric that you can actually explain how you did the math on. And when you mention that number, show how much more you went above and beyond. A lot of times people use ChatGPT for this. And like if you're a waiter, one time I saw this, it was like, I decreased the amount of time that it took for the food to leave the chef's hands and hit the customer's table by 25%. It's like, dude, did you really use a stopwatch and time that from end to end? Right? So make sure that what you're saying is true and that it's actually defensible. And you can explain how you came up with those numbers and how you achieved that result, even if the number isn't 100% accurate. So after doing that with 2 experiences, the most relevant ones, then you go into your current experience, same framework. Step 3 is you need to show them that you gain the skills that they're looking for through these experiences. Make sure they're defensible by your experiences. If you're having trouble understanding what skills they're looking for, look in the job description. Now your answer that you said, the stories that you told should prove you have the skills they're looking for. So it's like a reverse engineered way of saying the perfect answer. It took me 6 months to land this job because I had no mentor, no degree, no experience. Check out the community link below if you want to save the trial and error. I'll see you in there or next week and if you just want to subscribe.